ass diapers up out of my kitchen.
Will you come in for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
Come with me.
I'm ratchet. Y'all calling me ratchet. No. Y'all the ones who can't control y'allself.
No, you the one. You always argumentative.
Me?
You always.
Please. That's okay. Y'all going to jail today. All y'all going to jail today.
So, Ms. Cooper, I'm going to ask you to unmute and raise your right hand for me. Do you swear the statements you make will be the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yeah.
All right. Ms. Cooper, do you have any other witnesses that you intend to call besides yourself?
No.
All right. Now, Ms. Cooper, you filed against two people. Ms. Jackson, she is your sister and someone that you were living with at the time you filed. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And then you filed against Ms. Perez, who was helping out in the home on a professional basis and is also connected to your sister on a personal level, to the best of your knowledge. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And to the best of your knowledge, are both of those parties DeKalb County residents?
Yeah.
All right. And how long have you been living in the home?
Since December of last year.
All right. So you came in December, and was Miss Jackson already living there at that time?
Yeah.
And was Miss Perez helping out in the home at that time?
No.
Okay. When did you first encounter her?
Do you mean like knowing that she was still working there? Probably like a year ago. She was in the home in 2022, 2021. She
So
stopped.
there was a gap and she came back?
Yeah.
Okay. So she was not a stranger to you at the time she moved in, but she wasn't actively helping out there.
Yeah.
And that's due to the physical condition of one of your parents, essentially. He requires in-home care.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us what led to you filing your petition.
My daughter received a call from InTouch, the scheduler. Her name is Esther, and she was asking questions about, I guess around the surroundings around work, like who was taking care of my dad. Was it India or was it DeAndrea? Because they saw that both of them were clocked in. So they were asking my daughter questions, and my daughter called me. I then called India and let India know what was going on, what was being said. When I first told her, she didn't express like any anger or anything, but leading up to that, because she would still come over even though she wasn't providing care for my dad. So after I told her, that was Friday, Saturday, she did have an attitude with me and my daughter. And Sunday is when the incident happened, and it escalated. I don't think India wasn't in it at first. It was really against me and my mom. And then my sister, then Miss Jackson jumped in, and that's when she started hollering. At the same time that all this was going on, both Miss Jackson and Miss Perez, they were angry. I could tell that they were angry. And so the comment I made was, y'all just mad because y'all gonna go to jail. And why did I say that? But when I said that, both Miss Jackson and Miss India got in my face. Now, I started recording when she asked me to come pick the diaper up off the floor because it had already got it escalated. And when I was walking into the kitchen, my mom, Miss Jackson, and Miss Perez was all in the kitchen. So that's why I started recording. Now, also I was recording because I was holding my 4-month-old grandson. So when I went to go pick up the diaper, we had like a little exchange, and I guess she got upset. I think she said she was upset because I told her to shut up. But I just told her to shut up because she kept telling me to stop calling the police over here. But I wasn't calling the police on her at that moment. I was calling the police on my mom for her behavior. And so I guess she got upset. Now with Miss Perez, after I didn't see what happened at first outside. The only thing I know is when my daughter called me and said that she was outside. I walked outside and I hear yelling, and I see Miss Perez and Miss Jackson at Miss Perez's car, and Miss Jackson is holding her back, trying to attack my daughter. And so my daughter was throwing rocks at them, and I guess because of that, that's why they got in the car and they left. By that time, I had already called the police. I had already called 911.
How
So
old is your daughter?
he's 20.
Okay.
So at that time, I had already called the police, so we was waiting on them to come back. When they got here, Miss Perez and Miss Jackson, they had left the house. They had left the residence. They didn't come back till after. Also, I let the officer know because I was recording, and it was another gentleman that was here, and the officer came up to me and said that the gentleman didn't want me recording him. And I said, sir, that gentleman that you're referring to, that's Miss Perez's brother. He's in there changing locks in a room that I used to go in because my mom is mad. She in there now. She making him or asking him to change the lock. So I said that's why I have him on camera, because he's included in all of this. So after that, the officer said, if I were you, I would do whatever I can to get my father or get your father another nurse. And so that's why I would like the restraining order to be kept on Miss India and Miss Jackson.
Okay. So let's start with Miss Jackson. What violence has there been between you and Miss Jackson?
What violence has there
Miss
been?
Cooper, yeah. So Miss Cooper, these questions will be for you. Miss Jackson, I'll ask you questions later. But so what violence has there been between you and Miss Jackson?
There's never been any violence between me and her, except for one incident that was probably, I would say, at least like 7 years ago. But the violence has always been between her, Miss Jackson, and my mom. I've always had to step in between them. Like since I've been here since December, I've had to step in between them numerous of times because they have almost got fighting. So me and Miss Jackson haven't had any, I guess you can say, violent situations that's come up. It's only because of this situation that was addressed that maybe she got angry. But other than that, we haven't had any major history of violence between me and her.
Okay. And now the same question as it relates to Miss Perez.
No violence with her except for this incident.
Okay. And what about other acts like threats of violence or property damage?
Not not damage to property, but when she was outside, she had told my daughter she was gonna spray her. So
And what did you interpret that to mean?
a gun, because she does keep a gun with her.
Okay. And that was toward your 20-year-old?
Yes.
Okay. And you referenced filming something or a video earlier. Is that something you submitted to the court?
Yes, for evidence, yes.
Okay, Madam Clerk, are we able to view that?
Is it labeled?
I don't think it's labeled. The text messages are labeled, but the video is not labeled.
Okay. This one?
And do you know if you got a separate confirmation that the video was accepted?
Yes, I had, because I couldn't send it from my original email, so I had to send it from another one, but I did get a confirmation that it was filed.
All right, give us just a moment. We're going to try to pull this up and we're going to screen share. And was this, could you estimate when this was taken?
This was on July the 30th.
All the crap this in here? You gonna
Get
tell
your
me?
dirty diaper out of the kitchen.
Corey, you too.
Record. We don't care about none of that.
I know you don't. I know you don't.
And make sure you tell him you told me to shut up.
Because you told me you what did you tell me? Oh, I bet you didn't.
didn't. You came down here telling me giving me orders in my house. You don't tell me what to do.
I thought this was daddy house, mama house. Now it's your house.
I thought you said it was mama house, you lying heifer.
Ain't that what mama just said yesterday?
Recorded. It's recorded. Now you finally saying it's mama house. Now you finally
Do y'all
saying
see
it.
Officer
Now
Sheila?
you finally saying it. At first you said it wasn't mama house.
Mama saying it's her house, but now it's
No,
your house.
you
Who
just
house
said-
is it?
you
Is it
just said
yours?
It was never mama's
Is it
house.
yours? Is it yours or
just said It was
mama's?
never mama's house. What you shaking for? You scared?
No,
You shaking?
no.
I
It's the
ain't
demons in
scared.
y'all. It's shaking
Ain't
me.
no demons.
Yes, it
You the
is.
demon.
Oh,
You
okay.
the fucking demon.
Okay.
You understand me?
You are being
I
recorded.
don't give a
Shaking
shit
it.
about being recorded. Get your nasty ass diapers up out of my kitchen.
Will you come here for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
Come with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not my mama. I'm not even freaking Michaela. That's all you fucking can do is record. You can't pay no bills in the house.
Oh well, I didn't think my $200 and the $242
$200
that I just spent on bright shoes.
$200
Okay then. So what? I had surgery.
Guess what? I don't care.
I know
anymore.
you don't care.
I don't care.
That's why you're
I
being
care.
recorded.
I don't care about that either.
And they're gonna see how hostile you are.
Yo, you the one who told me to shut up first.
Why did I tell you to shut up, Tia? Because you told me to stop calling the police over here. And I said shut up.
You don't tell me to shut up.
Just come in the bedroom.
No, because this is what has to happen. Y'all ratchet. Y'all calling me ratchet. Y'all the ones who can't control y'allself.
No, you the one. You always argumentative. You
Me?
provoking, You always.
Please. That's okay. Y'all going to jail today. All y'all going to jail today.
All right. So for the purposes of the record, has anything about that video been edited, altered, or deleted in any way?
No.
All right. And for the sake of clarification, and just to get this as part of the record as well, there were 3 parties visible in the video that I saw, somebody in white, somebody in black, somebody in gold. Could you tell us who each of those were?
The person in gold is my mom. The person in white was Miss Perez, and the person what you said in black, that was mom, Miss Jackson.
Okay. Ms. Jackson and Ms. Perez, do either of you have any objection to the video being considered as evidence? You'll still be able to ask questions about it or give testimony about it if you wish to do so.
No.
All right. And Ms. Jackson?
No.
Okay. Thank you both. I wasn't quite sure who I had heard. I was guessing a little bit, but all right. That video will be admitted. And Ms. Cooper, did you submit other exhibits? I think I heard you say something about messages.
Yes, that was the text message between me and Miss Perez on the 28th. That's what basically is the cause of the altercation or the incident.
Okay. Give me just a minute. We're going to see if we can get that screen shared for everyone to see.
Okay.
Are you able to see the screen, Judge?
I can only see the blue Odyssey screen. I can't see the purple Odyssey screen. I think you may have to tell it to share that one separately. There we go.
Okay, good. But this one is labeled Petitioner 2.
Okay, and Miss Cooper, when somebody references Tia, T-E-I-A, who is that?
That's Miss Jackson. That's her nickname. That's what we call her.
Okay, and so you're telling her you think it's best that she stop being the nurse, and then it looks like this is just one page, so I'm guessing the petitioners 3 will carry on from there. Yep. Okay, number 4. Okay, and is there more after that? All right, and who is Miss Cooper? Who is Michaela?
That my daughter, that's the 20-year-old.
Okay, and Esther?
She's the scheduler at the home health service that Miss Perez and Miss DeAndrea work at.
Okay, and so this conversation, by and large, is about, I guess we'll call it double billing or possible double billing, and figuring out whether she'll continue to work with the family. Were there other exhibits that we need to pull up that I haven't seen yet?
No, sir.
All right. And any other testimony you wish to give before we proceed to the questioning portion?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Jackson, are there questions you believe I need to ask this witness at this time?
No.
All right, Ms. Perez, are there questions you believe I need to ask this witness at this time?
No.
All right, Ms. Cooper, you said you did not intend to call any other witnesses. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. All right. And so, Ms. Jackson, I will turn to you at this point. Do you wish to provide testimony today?
Yes.
All right. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear any statements you make will be the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. What would you like to tell us?
Okay. First and foremost, I have been living in the home. I have been away from my for about a year and a half now. This all did escalate pretty fast. And the initial issue is Miss Cooper is being evicted. There is a case against her and my mother, and she is in the process of being evicted from the home due to non-payment, not helping around the house, and causing a lot of conflict and confusion. The day of the incident on July 30th, that's in question. What happened is I had just came home from taking my oldest daughter to work. As I'm sitting on the couch, Miss Cooper comes down with her grandson in her hand, as well as a book bag. And she's frantically telling me, I better get my mama. I better get my mama. She's not playing with her. And I just calmly said, listen, we are not going to keep calling the police every weekend or every day because something is said to you by mama. At the end of the day, this is still her house. And she was saying they instructed her to keep calling the police every time something is said to her. Next thing, she turns to me and tells me to shut up because I'm going to jail. And at this point, I am furious. I'm furious at the fact that I'm paying bills in the house where she lives freely. I provide everything in the house where she lives freely. I'm providing care for my father in which she does not exist. And in theory, this is her biological father. He is my stepfather, okay? Hasn't offered to assist, haven't offered to do anything. So yes, I am very upset at the fact that you're threatening me with false allegations in which I have attached documents as my evidence. I did submit it and receive the email saying that it had been approved, that this whole Medicaid fraud thing that she's falsely accusing me of does not exist. The people that she contacted did not give her any information due to different laws, that they cannot do that because she's not authorized to speak on anything when it comes to my father.
All right. Ms. Cooper, do you have questions you believe the court needs to ask Ms. Jackson as part of cross-examination? You'll have to click unmute there.
Yes, sir. The only reason why I haven't helped in the, oh, I don't know, that's not a question. So did mama not tell you, Miss Jackson, that she didn't want me helping out with daddy?
No.
And did you not know that I have been paying mama money? And the
I
last
saw the
payment I
receipts
made
of the
was,
funds that you sent to her, but that does not equivalent to you living there for 8 months.
are you not aware of any of the payments that I've given mama? Do
I
you
am.
have?
I stated I was.
Okay, so
Let me, for my understanding and clarification, let me try to ask this question. Ms. Jackson, if you had to estimate to the best of your knowledge how much money you think Ms. Cooper has paid here, what would you guess that number to be?
Probably roughly around $400, give or take.
Okay, so maybe a few payments of a few $100s.
Yeah.
All right. So with that estimate on her behalf, do you have any other questions, Ms. Cooper?
no.
All right. Ms. Jackson, if we were in court, this would be where I would tell you you could step down from the witness stand. Did you have any other witnesses that you intended to call?
She's actually part of the case as well. My mom is still trying to log in. It's not letting her log in.
We'll check the, we'll circle back on that if we need to. We can continue moving on. And just remind me to go back to that. I'll check with Ms. Perez and hear her testimony if she wishes to give it and hear from any witnesses she wishes to call. And then we'll go from there. So Ms. Perez, I'm sending you a prompt to unmute. Is it your wish to give testimony today as well? All right. Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear any statements you make will be the truth under penalty of perjury? I'm not sure I can hear you. Can you say something for me?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Adjust my volume a little bit. All right. What would you like to tell us today?
I want to begin with, I started working with Mr. Cooper probably about 2 years ago. I left to take on a different position elsewhere. Ms. Cooper wanted me to come back to assist her with Mr. Cooper, so I did. My major concern is this accusation of Medicaid fraud. I presented evidence where the state provided an app for all home health aides called Carify. It's impossible for 2 people to clock in at once because the state is.
I'm just going to jump in here. That stuff is really outside the scope of the hearing in either direction. It could be 100% true or 100% false, and it's not going to change whether I should or shouldn't grant the protective order, if that makes sense. So think about that as background. If it helps to think of it this way, it's relevant insofar as it's what Ms. Cooper thought might be true to get her involved in some part of this situation. But in terms of the ruling I'm making today, I don't think we need to go through that. But as far as the arguments, the conflicts, the altercations involving the parties here today, do you have any statements about those?
Yes, as you see in the video, I'm the tall, heavyset female. I was very calm. I have nothing to do with the family's, private quarrels, but I was helping Mr. Cooper when we can hear the outburst. He can't get out of the bed, so he wanted me to go see what was going on. I saw what was going on. You can see me, moving DeAndrea out of the room as Ms. Cooper is following with the camera, but I don't even really know how I got involved in this. I do know that she did send me those text messages, and you see in the text message, she mentioned twice that she thinks I should stop being the nurse. She has no right to tell me to stop being the nurse. I don't understand why she would want me to stop being the nurse. I'm there helping her dad. And as far as her daughter and when the police were called, because I didn't want to be involved, as you see in the text message, when I say I don't want to be in the middle of this, I went and sat in my car so that I would not have to be in the middle of it. I've never done anything violent towards Miss Cooper. We've never had an altercation, an argument. I've never damaged anything of hers. And actually, when I was in my car, her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend, came flying up, stopped in the middle of the street. Her daughter jumps out of the car, run towards me while I'm sitting in my car, saying that I tried to help DeAndrea dump her mother, which was far from the truth. I don't have anything to give.
All right. Ms. Cooper, are there questions?
Well, I do have my evidence. I'm sorry. That I presented.
And what is the evidence in regards to?
The text messages also.
Okay, these are different messages.
Well, it's pretty much the same, but you can just see on two different occasions where she's almost like she's trying to intimidate me, telling me I should stop being the nurse. I need to start by quitting. Then she's saying that I'm in a relationship with Miss Jackson, but I have text messages from Miss Cooper where she was actually trying to pursue me, and I politely declined. So I just find it odd that now in this paperwork it says that I'm in a relationship with Miss Jackson.
All right. And what part of the world do you live in?
Me?
Yes.
I live in Decatur, Georgia.
Okay. So, all right. So I see a defendant's exhibit that's in the docket from 8/15. Madam Clerk, are we able to screen share that? On the 6907 case.
You did say you didn't need to use this, so this.
Oh, is this exhibit? This is a number of pages. If you
scroll, yeah, just keep scrolling.
Okay. Right there.
Okay, so this is the same message she shared with you, but she's telling me she thinks it's best for me to stop being the nurse. There's no reason, for me to not be the nurse. And this is the message where she's actually coming on to me. So I don't understand why she's now telling the courts that me and Ms. Jackson are in a relationship.
There are more after this that we should continue to scroll. I can't tell how many pages. Okay.
And this is a message from the office where I reported what happened on the 30th because I have to report to my job what happens. So Miss Esther, the actual owner of the agency that I worked for, asked me to provide her with the documentation about the incident with Miss Cooper's daughter, because she mentioned that she can't give Miss Cooper any information about Mr. Cooper or any of his nurses because she's not on his paperwork for her to do so, and it violates HIPAA regulations for her to speak with Miss Cooper. So this is them asking me to provide them with documentation and proof of what happened on the 30th.
So, all right. And are there any other exhibits you wish for the court to consider?
No.
Okay. Ms. Cooper, do you have any questions for Ms. Perez?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What's your first question?
So the first one is, did not Miss Esther call you, Miss Perez, and tell you that she suggested you not to come back here and work because of everything that was going on over here?
No. She stated that she had to get approval from Mr. Cooper's caseworker for me to be back on assignment, which is what all healthcare agencies have to do. They have to get approval from the patient's caseworker to have an assignment.
Okay. And then the next question is, did you not, yes, I did come on to you, but have we not all hung out together? And did you not tell me specifically that you and Miss Jackson are dating, that you and Miss Jackson are going to move in together?
No.
That's all the questions that I have.